It's green flag time. Let's get this show on the road. Madison Toll dominates and wins. Trey Wright wins the Indianapolis 200.
Miles out of nowhere. It's gonna steal it.
It's going to be Mike Fink Jr., number 38. Winnie Crouch is going to take the win here at Pocono.
Side by side.
They're gonna be side by side going down.
Local Williams will win the Coca-Cola 600.
We are the NIRA. Hello everyone, this is Freedomator. Welcome to the Nashville Superspeedway for race number 6 of season number 2 of the Cabela's Cup Series. Met the Music City 500. 42 gonna roll off here. We're gonna go around 75 times around this 1 1/3 mile D-shaped oval that will equate to about 100 miles we are going to run here, 99.975 to be exact. And I'll just go ahead and round it up to 100. This is going to be a good one here on the concrete in Tennessee. Welcome up to the booth. This is Freedomator. I'm here with Ethan Farley. Farley, welcome up to the booth.
Again, it's welcome to Nashville. To be honest with you, here in Tennessee, if anything, I sort of just took a break after the Scotts Grand National Series, drove up to the mountains, sat down, had a bit of a beer, and just enjoyed the weather. It's actually quite cool today, in my own opinion. Wore a nice little shirt up in the mountains, enjoyed the mountain air, the fresh feeling of just the wind blowing in your face finally, and not because that you're very hot and sweating in every pore that you have.
You know, so I'm not gonna tell you how you did in the Scotts Grand National race, but everyone watching, you know how Ethan did. So, you were out there on the track yesterday. Going into this race here today, what can you tell us about the driving conditions here on this racetrack?
It's going to be a little tricky for the most part. From what I've known, letting off on that gas is going to be just like a quick 1-2 to do anything. Not really enough to where you'll have enough off-throttle time to last the entire 70 miles or close to 100 miles, but it's going to be enough to where you'll let off to avoid getting tight, but it's gonna just be right around the gray area. If they can find that gray area, they could probably find enough speed to win.
We will see. We're just about to get this race started, so let's get these pace laps started. And the engines fire here at Nashville. 42 gonna roll off the pit road. William Brock, Mitchell Collins, Creed Daniel, Trey Smith, Kanan Biller, Casey Holland, Mark Sy, Samet Oskin, with Jason Dady and Darren Arnsdorf going to round out the top 10 here at Nashville as we scroll through the rest of the field here. Ethan, do you think you might have a pick for this race? Or do you feel confident enough picking one?
I'm going to be confident in my sort of pick. I'm going to go with Kanan Biller on this one. He's there up in the front, but I'm sort of confident that he can get up to the front really quick, get to the front, stay in the front, stay in the lead for a lot of laps. Not all of them, a lot of laps as the pace car comes in as we get ready to go green.
Pace car's in, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's green flag racing time, so let's get this show on the road here at Nashville. Off into one, Brock with a huge jump over Creed Daniel. Kanan Biller falling back a little bit on the inside. The outside line, as I predicted, was going to be the preferred line. Looks like that's the way it is right now, as we see a lot of side-by-side going on. Actually, the inside line is going to help Creed Daniel. He moves to second. Look at all these guys getting jacked up back here, all falling back. They're losing a ton of momentum back there. One car going way low just up ahead. I think that was Evan Hunter there in the 11. Way down there on the apron, as we saw a few other cars in the back also do that. William Brock leading ahead of Creed Daniel, Mitchell Collins, Trey Smith, and Casey Holland right now. The top 5. One car slipping out of the groove there was Darren Arnsdorf in the 15. Casey Holland there in the 5th position with Sam Oskin behind her. They're going to go to the inside. Sam Oskin's right there on the backside of the 42.
She's proving to be quite strong, just sticking to her guns as of right now, staying in 4th. But don't count out Sam Oskin at all. He's sort of just stuck behind her for now, but if he can get that groove going and he can get that rhythm, he might be able to pass the 42 Texaco Haviland Dodge as of late. But so far, William Brock is putting on a dominating performance as we have crossed the line close and going into the backstretch. We have about a good few more laps to go to see if Creed Daniel can do anything and get past William Brock.
And if he doesn't, if this does end up being a strategy race, we're expecting pit cycles around in the 40s. So actually, here comes Daniel to the inside, gonna see if he can get a pass on the number 20. Brock hanging on the outside. Looks like he's going to hold on to the lead ahead of the 39. Collins 3rd, Smith 4th. Sam Oskin going to go to the inside of Holland. That's for the 5th position there. Holland is going to hold on to it on the outside. There's that outside lane I was talking about. We'll watch what happens here with the leaders. Daniel's going to try again on the inside of Brock. Not going to get there.
He had a little bit more luck last lap, but so far has not worked out. I don't think the inside line is going to work in anybody's favor for a hot minute. But so far the inside line could work if you have enough draft help. But it's going to be a little tricky. The outside line is what I've seen as of right now. Sort of the best line to run in to try and get past somebody.
This is a notoriously hard track to pass on if you're on that low line especially. Coming in, I knew it was going to be difficult to pass. This is likely going to end up being a strategy race unless these guys learn to use that outside line as opposed to just sticking on the bottom. So we see right there Trey Smith going around the outside of Mitchell Collins. He's going to try to dive it in on the outside to try to clear him. He's going to be close there coming off of corner number 2. Trey Smith, the 91, looked like he was going to get the pole there for a little bit in qualifying. Didn't quite hold on to it, but now obviously moving up through the field and having a good start to this race. He comes in, when looking at the points here, currently sitting in the 8th position. He gained 5 positions in the standings after last week's race at Pikes Peak. Comes in 36 back of points leader Kanan Biller. Biller sitting in the 8th position right now according to standings. So he is not having a bad day either. Right now, checking back in up front, Creed Daniel getting awful close to William Brock there as we're on lap number 10 of 75 here at Nashville.
Creed Daniel has sort of been all over the back bumper of the 20 of William Brock, but so far it's not been much. You saw while they were racing how much the draft was affecting the inside line. Casey Holland was helping Mitchell Collins try to get to the 91 of, apologies, but Trey Smith. The 91 Trey Smith has sort of just held his own, but so far, now he's going to race for second, getting real close there.
Yeah, I saw him try to get to the inside, but that outside is just so strong here at Nashville. On the straightaway, it looks like Daniel's going to try to dive it in. Could he have a shot of taking the lead from William Brock? This could be the first lead change we've seen the whole race. They are side by side coming off turn 4. Going through the tri-oval, give it to William Brock at the line just by a little bit ahead of the Navy 39, but now on the low side, gonna try to get in there. Not enough. William Brock's going to hold on to it.
1/1000th of a second when they crossed the line. That's how close they were getting to sort of just taking it out there. But so far, it's just the William Brock show. Ooh.
Bad
like
turn 3 and 4 for Trey Smith. I thought there was something wrong with him for a second. But no, he was just that slow, and he held up. Casey Holland, Arnsdorf, Osgin, and Biller up big time there on lap number 12. As now starting to stretch away that low line. I don't know what happened there with Trey Smith midway through the corner, but he did not get going there. He slowed up so much going through turn 3 and 4.
That had to aggravate Casey Holland at this point. From what I've seen, she was strong. Then the 91 just slowed up for no discernible reason. From the looks of it, I think he was getting a little iffy with the throttle, so he didn't know if the throttle was going to come back or not, or it was just going to mess him up in the long run. But so far, it looks like he's sort of just back into contention, just way back from the leaders now. As you can see, the camera of Ben Young trying to get around Jason Dady. Jason Dady passing on to the outside, showing how strong the outside line is. I learned one thing. Whenever you take the outside line and you get into the gas, it'll feel like you're getting shot out of a cannon. But so far, a lot of the drivers here aren't really looking at it.
I am honestly surprised as we're 15 laps through this race. A fifth of the way through. I honestly thought we'd see more cars going to the top side. That's not to say we haven't seen any going up to the top side. Look right here. Ben Young going to the outside of Josh King, who, by the way, in qualifying, did not have a miscue. I mentioned that post-qualifying, but he actually didn't, so I apologize for that. Chase Miller there, getting on the low side of Gatlin Downey. Ryan Benjamin up there, the two-time series winner. Well, one of the two-time series winners right now. The other one not having a very good race right now, comes in 4th in the points. But if you want to find him, you're going to have to go all the way back here. There's Noah Clifton sitting in the 39th position here on lap number 17 at Nashville. As Tyler Mills really slow on the inside. Just look at them going by on the outside. That's how strong the outside line is here at Nashville.
Yeah, Eli Bright makes the mistake of going into the inside, giving Rodney Crouch the chance to keep his lead against them both. Again, what I said, whenever you get into the outside and someone's trying to pass you, at that point, it feels like you're getting shot out of a rocket with how fast you're going than the other drivers.
Still a lot of side-by-side going on as we get later in the run here. Tires starting to wear, potentially. The inside line starting to get a little bit of traction there. We just saw Niall O'Hare go to the inside of teammate Ben Young. And up ahead, Creed Daniel edging ahead of William Brock. That's the furthest he's been.
But William Brock has sort of the run into the outside. Is it going to be enough? Casey Holland playing it smart and following the same line Brock is, trying to get past the 2. So far, it appears to be working to give the point to the 20 for the lead.
How about Casey Holland in the 42, the rookie on the outside, a huge run up top and into the 2nd position.
Went from crashing in the back, now chasing for the lead.
To the inside of William Brock, they are going to be side by side off turn number 4. I think she's going to even have the edge at the line. Look at this, the help from Creed Daniel. She's got it at the line. Casey Holland to the lead.
goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Texaco Havoline is looking on in astonishment. She had the biggest run of all time, and I think I can give her something called the cleanest pass award, something that I haven't really given to a lot of drivers. But Casey Holland had the cleanest pass out of all of them, getting a big run, going into the outside, getting into the inside, using the draft from Mitchell Collins to get to the lead.
That was incredible. Behind, Brock trying to hold on as Mopar arrives on the scene. Creed Daniel moves into the second position ahead of Brock. Look behind, Mitchell Collins, Trey Smith right there. Going to try to get around the number 20 Chevrolet. Another Chevrolet moving up in the mix, Sam Oskin. Going to try to spoil the Mopar party. Mark Sy also up there. Darren Arnsdorf, Kaden Biller right there sitting in ninth. He's going to peek to the outside of Arnsdorf. Sy slips to the outside. That outside line is starting to fade. Looks like the tires fall off. The inside lane is starting to get some traction here. That could be good here later in the run for those that would rather be on the inside as opposed to the outside.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be a deciding factor. The tires wear down, the rubber gets laid out, and it gets a little bit more grip on the inside than the outside. But so far, you can still see glimpses of the outside working into everybody's favor. But so far, it looks like Creed Daniel's the only one that could be able to charge up to the front. Again, draft help can also be a big thing. Oh,
I thought that was trouble for Kaden Biller. I apologize. He had the same thing happen that I think it was Trey Smith had happen earlier. He was really slow on the apron of 3 and 4. Still crosses in 10th, but just did not have a good corner there.
And look at the lead that Casey Holland has against Creed Daniel, .41. A good, like, maybe two and a half car lengths away from the driver of the 39 Navy machine. And it looks like from what I've seen, a lot of the car sponsors, 01 is sponsored by the Army, 39 is sponsored by the Navy. All we need is a little bit of military. We saw the Air Force of the 21. We need just the National Guard. We might have the entire military just racing around here at Nashville.
National Guard is on the 16 of Kaden Biller, not as the primary sponsor today, but as an associate sponsor. You do see the numbers, the 16 have the National Guard right there on the back. 25 of Stephen Colon has also sported the National Guard. We're not seeing that on his car. We see GMAC and Ditech back on the number 25, that blue and black scheme. And if you want to get a military car, you have to go all the way back here to find Noah Clifton, as Ryan Benjamin has fallen out of the race with a valve failure. I don't know when that happened, but Ryan Benjamin, the other two-time winner along with Noah Clifton, has fallen out of this race. Clifton all the way back in 41st and is the last car on track right now. Back up front, Casey Holland has almost a full second lead over Creed Daniel. Mitchell Collins third, William Brock fourth, Sam Oskin nosing ahead into the 5th position, but he's side by side with Trey Smith. Looking on the outside, I think Smith's going to get it here. They're going to split Brock going into turn 1. Brock almost puts Smith in the outside wall, but Smith, with the momentum on the high side, is going to get the spot. 4 dodges in the top 5 here at Nashville.
I always want to understand something, Freedom Raider. Who do you pick as the biggest underdog in the race as of right now?
I would say the biggest underdog has to be Creed Daniel in the 39. He has not had anything go his way hardly this season so far. There he is sitting in the 2nd position in that number 39 Navy Dodge right now. He sits currently in 33rd in the standings. He had a good run at Pikes Peak, but still, he is 79 points. No, I take that back. Yeah, 79 points out of the lead. That's right. An average finish of 25.8. He has not had a single top 10 finish so far in the first 5 races of this season. But we're just short of halfway. He's running pretty good right now, but I don't think he's going to touch Casey Holland right now, who has a huge 1.29 second lead, and she's going to come down to pit road. I guess we're going to have a 2 pit stop race here at Nashville.
It could be a wide gamble if nobody else decides to show up, but let's see what happens. Casey Holland is quick on her feet.
But look at how many decided to come down with her. Josh King, Dale Lightning, Travis Crampton came down, Gatlin Downey, Chase Miller, Brady Ugest, the 0 Colton Yo. We've got Chase Buck there in the 19, Titan Nicholas, and Owen Miles, Keegan Thompson, Nick Kennedy, and the 77, Jimmy Hogan. Looks like more are going to come down. Mitchell Collins going to stay out. Let's see who stays out here. Only 3 cars. Mark Sy and Stephen Colon will join Mitchell Collins. That could help. Later in the run, they stay out. That might help, at least a little bit, as everyone else is going to come down to the pit road. Niall O'Hare was one of the... has he come down? I don't believe he's come down yet. He might when we see Mitchell Collins, Mark Sy, and Stephen Colon come down, which would be this lap. We'll watch as they come onto the pit road. Watching who's going to cycle into the lead. Casey Holland, a blistering stop, is likely going to cycle into the lead. And I take it back, Niall O'Hara had already come down to the pit road. So this is to get the lap back for Niall O'Hare. As we see Creed Daniel coming off the pit road. We'll wait just a couple laps here to see who is going to cycle into the lead. Watching for Mitchell Collins to come off the pit road. Don't see him just yet. There he is. They're still on pit road. Those 4 are still on pit road. Sam Oskin in the 29. A long pit stop there. Big trouble for that Hershey's team. And it does look indeed like Casey Holland is going to cycle into the lead. We'll wait here and find out. I believe she did. And yes, she did. Casey Holland back to the lead. Niall O'Hare, the surprise, 2nd. Josh King, 3rd. Creed Daniel, 4th. Darren Arnsdorf right now is in the 5th position in that Napa Auto Parts Chevy.
I think she played it smart, in my own opinion. She sort of just went in as early as she could to get a little bit of lead. She knew she was going to get lapped for a second, but she knew that the rest of the leaders would have to pit at some point, so she could get her lap back and siphon out into the lead. So now, not only does she take her lead back, she has a massive lead, a 3-second point, 23-second lead.
And it shrunk a little bit there that lap. Obviously, Niall O'Hare, Josh King going nose to tail. The draft on the straightaway is going to help a little bit. Niall O'Hare stretching away from Josh King. He tried to drive it in deep into turn 1 there, but he is going to slip back and leave Niall all by himself. The gap 3.07 right now as Holland comes around. We're going to watch as they come around. That is a huge lead for the rookie driver, that number 42, in search of her first career Cabela's Cup Series victory, but the gap shrank again significantly. 0.43 hundredths were just knocked off by Niall O'Hare, who is all by himself right now. He's trying to stretch away from Josh King, but trying to get up to the front as well.
I sort of am not surprised with the drive that these cars have at this point. But it's still seconds away from the main person of interest as the 22 of Josh King dives it in deep. Will he get the run? The 99 so far, he will not let him go. Niall O'Hare is just driving it in, but that would give a smile onto Casey Holland's face to let them drive like this.
Also going to help Creed Daniel out. Look at him close in there in that 39. They are still side by side for that second position, but give it to Niall O'Hare at the line. And the gap, it grew a little bit the last lap, but it grew even more there, up to 2.93 seconds. As O'Hare's going to fight back on the outside. Creed Daniel trying to close in on the number 22 of Josh King. King falls to the 3rd position. O'Hare moves to 2nd. Daniel still 4th. And Darren Arnsdorf has a mirror full of Dale Lightning there, 5th and 6th. Then Travis Crampton 7th. Side by side for 8th, Mitchell Collins and Trey Smith. We'll go ahead and watch this real quick as they go through turns 1 and 2. The outside, give it to Mitchell Collins. He's going to have the advantage off corner number 2. But Brady Yu just right behind there, going to try to make this a 3-car battle.
Brady Yu just has sort of been having a decent season by far, but so far it sort of is just chilling out in the back in the top 10, getting past the 91 of Trey Smith and trying to get past the 16 of Kanan Biller, going onto the apron to try and get past, but so far it only slowed him down a little bit more.
Looks like Smith had that same thing happen that he had at the start of this race. Over in turn 3 and 4, he got really slow on the inside there. Don't know why that's happening exactly, but it is. As the gap up front, we're going to go ahead and check back in here. 2.99. Casey Holland's just on cruise control right now. We have been caution-free in this race so far. We have not had a caution-free race in the Cabela's Cup Series so far, oddly enough. I wouldn't mind if we had one. It's better than bent sheet metal and hurt feelings, quite honestly, if you ask me. As Sam Oskin, there he is, finally came off the pit lane. Whatever issue he had has been fixed, but unfortunately, if we don't get a caution, he is going to be well out of contention, 3 laps down in that number 29 Chevrolet.
All I'm thinking, if I was Casey Holland, is just to drive the wheels off that thing. And she is doing it without fail as of right now, as the 22 is sort of just giving a mirror full of Niall O'Hare. Niall O'Hare looking at Josh King, not enjoying the view. But so far, Creed Daniel on the inside, but not going to get there because the 22 was on the outside. Looks like the 22 is trying to dive her in, but so far it has not shown any better. So far it's just slowed Niall O'Hare up in the number 99 Office Depot machine.
And remember, the shuffling of the field is not done yet. We are going to have one more pit cycle in about 15, 16 laps. It's going to be in the 60s, but it's going to be enough to get to the end as the gap up front grew again significantly, 3.47 seconds. And Casey Holland is gone. She is dominating the mid portion of this race. Whenever she got around William Brock, or was it Creed Daniel or William Brock? I guess it was one of those two. Whoever she got around, she has just been on cruise control since she got to that lead, making it look easy up front in that 42.
Looks like Niall O'Hare gave the 22 a bit of a pinch and a squeeze. Just squeezing him down close to the apron to slow him up a bunch. He got tired of Josh King.
Niall O'Hare's going to comfortably hold on to that second position. The gap to the lead shrunk a little bit, but not enough that it should be a concern for Casey Holland. Creed Daniel currently 3rd, Josh King 4th, Darren Arnsdorf still 5th. Got a mirror full of the 31 of Dale Lightning, who's going to dive to the inside. Watch for turn 3 here. Is he going to get there? They're side by side. Lightning slid up there. He had to get out of the gas. So give 5th place back to Darren Arnsdorf. Move Dale Lightning back to 6th. Travis Crampton 7th. Mitchell Collins 8th. Brady Udis 9th. Trey Smith rounds out the top 10. We'll go ahead and scroll through the rest of your standings here. There's points leader Kanan Biller, actually, excuse me, not Case, sitting in the 16th position, ironically enough, 16 in the 16th position. he's having a mid-pack sort of day, unaccustomed to that from the points leader. But this is a very difficult track to master here. Already a trouble for a couple of guys there. Obviously Ryan Benjamin out of the race with a valve failure. And Sam Oskin, nothing to do with anything on the track, just in the pits. He had a horrible pit stop in that first cycle. And still sits 3 laps down as we have a 3-car battle going on there for second, third, and fourth.
I wasn't gonna expect O'Hare to be done with Josh King. Josh King has just been on a pain in the backside for the 99 off his depot machine, but so far the 39 is just loving on it, just getting a run like no other to get away from them both, but it's not gonna be enough. If anything, looks like Niall O'Hare is gonna try and chase down Chase Miller, or not Chase Miller, I apologize to the 39, Creed Daniel.
And the gap to the lead, 3.97 seconds up to Casey Holland, and we are 10 or 11 laps away from the final pit cycle of this race, just to get to the end. Holland on the low line there, taking it smoothly through turn 3 and 4. And just no one is coming anywhere close to her. She didn't even put up the fastest lap, but you know what? She doesn't have to, because she is checked out. And even if she doesn't win this race, what a performance, what a turnaround. After the kind of start to the season she had, 2 races in a row with trouble.
3 wide.
3 wide back there as Darren Arnsdorf splits the middle, and caution is out. Chase Miller in the 10 with trouble. He is on the pit road, and that changes everything.
It definitely does change a lot of things. Casey Holland, her worst fear, sort of, it's either her worst fear or her best dream to have a caution come out. But so far, she might just still have it in the bag. If anything, if we saw the way that the 15 of the 15 of Darian Arnsdorf sort of just go 3 wide out of nowhere, if he could pull that off again and mess up Creed Daniel, Casey Holland would have no issues as they come into the pits right now.
The huge lead evaporated. 3.91 seconds the last time, and now just cruising down pit road at 45 miles an hour. This is going to be good enough to get to the end, by the way. And with how hard it is to pass on this racetrack, as we've seen how hard it is to pass just in the first 54 laps of this race already. This is the first caution of the race, and, well, oh my goodness, Josh King and Darren Arnsdorf are going to short pit, and they're going to be the first ones off. Likely only took 2 tires there, same for Mitchell Collins probably. As trouble for Casey Holland, a terrible pit stop.
Goodness, this is sort of not what I was expecting, but short pitting at a track like this is a little risky. It's very risky, to be honest with you. So she probably took 4 good amount of fuel to reach to the end, and sort of is gonna show what she's got with what she has as of now. So far, she somewhat has fallen down, but not by much.
She's sitting 15th on the track right now, as looks like possibly everyone in front of her took just 2 tires. Creed Daniel was the first off, then it was Josh King, Darren Arnsdorf, Mitchell Collins, and Mark Sy, followed by JD Figueroa, Trey Smith, Tyler Mills, Stephen Colon, and Niall O'Hare rounding out the top 10. Let's go back and take a look at the replay as we come to 20 laps to go next time by. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out the first caution of the race here in the Music City 500. So looking down the back straightaway, there they were, 4 wide. Chase Miller tries to back out of it at the last second, and Nick Kennedy gets into the back of him and up into the outside safety barrier. They both go, and Chase Miller, unfortunately, his good day is going to come to an end.
Here we are on the backstretch as Chase Miller goes 4 wide diagonally. Chase Miller realizes this, hits the brakes a little too much, and gets into Nick Kennedy, sending him into the on the outside wall. Hard crash for the number 10 machine, who had a strong finish at Pikes Peak, but nobody can win every single race and nobody can get further up. So it's a bad day for the 10 and the 45, but let's try and see what happens in the last few laps of the actual race.
And you just gotta feel bad for Chase Miller in the 10 after that amazing run he had at Pikes Peak, moving up 15 spots in the points all the way from 28th to 13th. And to have it end like that, he is going to finish 41st, and that's just gotta be disappointing. Well, the track is clear and we're good to go, so let's head to the restart here in Nashville. Off turn number 4, going to get the green flag here. The only car lapped down, Samad Oskin there. He is actually still 3 laps down. So Ryan Benjamin out, Chase Miller out, and Samad Oskin there on the inside as the field comes down to the green flag. It's a big jump for Creed Daniel. He's going to use the 29 as a pick, and he is going to stretch away. Meanwhile, looking behind, where is Casey Holland? There on the outside of Dale Lightning. Saw Rodney Crouch in the 40 making a big move there on the inside of the 88 of Camden Jezyorski. And this is intense racing that's going on right now. Casey Holland, a huge charge to the outside of 3 wide.
She's sort of just getting tired of everybody just holding her back. She is on a move, and she is on a move forward. She is not taking any prisoners, not letting anyone get into the high side without her being in there. She is just showing them what for.
15th to 9th in 1 lap. In 1 lap. What is going on? She's become the next Alexander Rossi, making moves on the outside like that. I thought I saw the number 27 Napa car when she was doing that, but hanging out there in the... see, what position is it? I take it back. It's not 15th, it's 11th. She did slip back a little bit on the restart there. And some cars got by her, but a lot of side-by-side still going on, and plenty of time, 16 laps to go before we get to the end of this race. So plenty of time to get up there and potentially get a top 5 finish, if not a win.
Now, if she can have the speed to just sort of, like, do what she can do a lot of things, and so far she can do plenty more as of now, but maybe if she just gets into the outside again, she might be able to go from where she finished in the last, on the restart, possibly back into the top 3, but she has made the mistake going into the inside as of right now.
Not just going to the inside, but going to the inside of 3 wide. That was a recipe of disaster through turns 1 and 2. That time as the caution is out again. Jamison Thole, huge damage on that 23. Jimmy Hogan, the 77, also involved. The hood buckled back, and huge right side damage on that number 77. And the caution comes out for the 2nd time. This race that went caution-free for 53 laps has now seen 2 cautions in the last 9. What happened?
Oh boy, this is going to get tricky.
This is going to be tense. Samad Oskin was not able to get by Creed Daniel, and even if he had, he was still going to be 2 laps down. So that inside line of the lap down lane is still going to be a concern. Well, a concern to everyone but Creed Daniel, as he is still up there leading this race comfortably with Sam Adolskin right there to use him as a pick to hold on to the lead as we get to the end of this race. Let's take a look back and see what happened to bring out caution number 2. So going off into turn 1 here, there's Jameson on the inside. He gets on the low line, and Hogan comes up top, gets into the back of him, and they both go into the outside very, very hard. Huge damage to both of them.
And here we are once again on the front stretch going into turn 1. As you can see, the 38 Trey Wright diving it in, making the 23 of Jameson Tholt slow down, hit Jimmy Hogan. Ugh, hard crash. That is not pleasant. Trust me, I would know. As you can see, Roman Fenway hitting the 77, causing him to hit the wall. And the 45, Nick Kennedy, just barely squeezing on by.
There was absolutely nowhere for Roman Fenway to go there, so I can't really put too much blame on him, but still, 2 more cars in trouble. 1 definitely going to be out of the race. Don't know about Jimmy Hogan yet, but we'll see. Let's head to the restart. Lights are off atop the pace car here at Nashville. It is still Creed Daniel leading. Darian Arnsdorf, Josh King, Mark Sy, and JD Figueroa. Sam Adolskin right there in 3 laps down. Sitting currently, it's going to be 38th after a couple laps. Jimmy Hogan and Jameson Thole unable to continue after that incident. And since we are within 15 laps to go, we do not have the double up. So he's going to be right there in the line. And is probably more than definitely going to benefit Creed Daniel here off this restart as we come to 10 laps to go.
Creed Daniel has shown speed, staying in second for majority of the run, but maybe he could have his first ever Cabela's Cup Series victory. I'd say I'm a little confident that Casey Holland's able to get there as we get ready to go green again.
Pace car is down, waiting for the flag to fly. And it's waving and we're racing again. 10 laps to go.
Those are smart and already diving into the outside. Everyone's scrambling for a position.
Osgen, you saw, tried to get by. That could have been good for Darren Arnsdorf. How about behind? 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Tyler Mills, Stephen Colon, and Mitchell Collins. Colon's going to be the benefactor from that. He's going to go straight through the middle and pass by both of them. Meanwhile, everything's still all over the place behind as we're now at 9 laps to go. Up ahead, Darian Arnsdorf has gotten around the 29 of Sam Adolskin. So now Creed Daniel's got to be at least a little worried. And a huge run on the outside for Mark Sy, the surprise in the 3rd place there. Moving up, he big into the picture, and slow on the low line, JD Figueroa. Man, if we get a caution here, we're getting down to that point of the race where if we had a caution now, the race would have to end under yellow. So you almost want to be careful, but at the same time, you just want to get up to the front as quick as you can.
So far, it's not been much to talk about. The 4, again, having a wonderful run, but going into the inside is going to hurt him a little bit. The 15 charging towards the 39. Could we have an upset victory?
It's possible. Creed Daniel, obviously, again, 33rd in the standings coming in. Darian Arnsdorf has had a pretty good season so far. But Creed Daniel just trying to hold on. Darren Arnsdorf falling back. We're coming to 6 laps to go this time. Between the top 3, we could see a first-time winner. The top 4, even, if Mitchell Collins was to get up there. Right now, he's not going to. Stephen Colon, the only guy that's at least won 1 race up there in the top 5. So he's going to cross to the inside of Mitchell Collins. Collins puts the block on him.
It's going to be a little bit of a weird way of racing, but so far it's not been much. as we're getting ready to go 5 laps to go across these 2 corners. But don't be surprised if you see Darian Arnsdorf try and make a pass from the inside to make the 39 block, but go high into the outside. Now they're going to try to go side by side, but it was not enough as Creed Daniels gets the run. So does the number 4, Mark Sy, trying to get there, but so far it's not been much.
Sy's going to be there on the outside. Arnsdorf's going to have the run through turn 3 and 4. 4 laps to go this time. Daniel stretching away. Sy's not going to get there on the outside. Oh boy, Arnsdorf drove it in deep. He's peeking up to the outside a little bit, trying to pull back in on the 39. He's going to be right there going into turn 3 and 4. This is the end where we've seen the inside line work. Not quite. He's going to cross to the outside. Not quite going to get there. 3 laps to go.
He's going to need that wonderful run where the 39 makes the mistake going into the inside. So far, neither of them have decided to go into the inside till now, going a little bit into the outside to get a little bit of a run. The 15 keeping into the draft. Darian Arnsdorf is hungry, and he is hungry for a bit of the hardware.
He tried. He wanted to get to the outside there. He almost did, but he slipped a little bit going through turn 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Popsicles in the air. 1 car going down to the pit road. Casey Holland, Gatlin Downey, Noah Clifton, Kane and Bill are even coming down to the pit road. Shocking, they're coming down to the pit road this late. I don't know what happened there, but I think everyone else is going to be good to the end here. I don't think we have to worry about anyone else. White flag going to come out this next time by. It's going to be 1 1/3 mile left for Creed Daniel to get his first career Cabela's Cup Series win.
Down but not out. Darian Arnsdorf trying to get there. The 4, Mark Sy, almost was there as he dives it in deep.
To the inside, he got close there. Sy tried to get there on the inside as well, but that may have just done it for Creed Daniel. A big lead ahead of the 15. 1 more set of corners. Not going to be there. Or is he? Off turn 4, not going to get there. It's going to be Creed Daniel. Win number 1 in the Cabela's Cup Series for Chip Ganassi Racing.
It may have not been the 42, but it was Casey Holland's teammate taking home the checkered flag for their team owner. They have ran strong.
Daniel. Wow. Creed Daniel pulls it off for Dodge, and Dodge gets their second win of the season. I blanked for a second. I don't know how many races they've won. They've been running really well, but they've only won twice now. The first one came with Nick Kennedy at Auto Club. The second one coming at the hands, race number 6, just 3 races later, of not Darian Arnsdorf, he finished second. Creed Daniel in the 39. Mark Sy third, Mitchell Collins fourth, and JD Figueroa rounds out the top 5. We'll take a look at the rest of your standings here. There's your top 28, and there's all the way back to 42nd. William Brock looks like he may have pulled off at the end there, just coming to the line. Colton Yo, Dale Lightning were, looks like they came down to the pit road late, but just didn't fall a lap down. Casey Holland, Gatlin Downey, Noah Clifton, and Kane and Bill are on the other hand. They finish a lap down. Sam Dawson actually 3 laps down still. The only cars unable to finish, Jimmy Hogan, Jamison Thole, Chase Miller, and Ryan Benjamin. So Ethan, any final thoughts, man?
Although that 42 Texaco Haviland Dodge decided to go into the pits way late into the race, close to the final few laps, she put on quite the show tonight here at Nashville. But I believe the Nashville fans are quite proud to have that go on in what I would call Mopar country. But Chip Ganassi had a win-win scenario. If Casey Holland couldn't do it, Creed Daniel would if he kept in second, and he kept in second for a long time to take the lead. And so far, Chip Ganassi is probably just smiling ear from ear.
So that's going to wrap us up here at Nashville. This was the Music City 500. We'll take a look at your point standings right now. And for Ethan Farley, this is Freedomator. We'll catch you in the next race. Y'all have a good one.